Nikki, when it got to a single point there in the fourth quarter, and you guys responded with Sarah hitting a couple of 3-pointers, maybe was that the key to keeping from having to win this game late?
I thought Sarah hit big shots. Her pull-ups were big shots, her baseline drive. It's not the first time this season that she's made shots for us in the fourth quarter. And I thought she was a big part of that. And then we did a good job once we went back to Queen. Queen then finally put the ball in the basket those last 3 times to kind of create that separation we needed at the end.
Jerry?
Nikki, they've obviously struggled scoring the ball all year. For them to score 26 points off your turnovers, do you feel like that kind of kept them in the game?
Yeah, no question. I mean, we had just so many turnovers in transition where we had numbers or simple plays. Like, we just needed to make simple plays, and we try to make home run plays. And I'll tell you one thing about Oklahoma State, like they keep pursuing. They don't quit playing in transition. So they did a good job, even when we had numbers of filling in from behind and never giving up on plays. And so, I felt like we didn't read that. We didn't read the player like trailing in and giving their best effort. And so, they got their hands on some balls. I mean, some of them were forced, some of them were fully unforced. Like we got to make simple plays. I mean, we had more turnovers in this game than we've had the last 3 games combined. So kudos to them, but, I think it was definitely an eye opener for our group. But, sometimes you got to find a way, especially on the road. And I thought at least we did that. We found a way. We stayed composed. We got stops when we needed to.
Anybody in the room have a question?
Coach, got off to a kind of slow start there. Real slow start. Got behind 7-0. What changed? What did you guys do to be able to settle down a little bit?
Well, I thought putting Jaden and Caitlin Bickle in the game, that was the biggest, adjustment we made. They brought energy. We felt like Queen had a decided advantage in the post and has been playing really, really well for us. We tried to play into her. She was struggling to put it in the basket. Liz missed, I think, 3 of her first 4 shots. And so, we just got some energy. We got some good energy from Jaden. It's not like Jaden was scoring, but Kate did a really good job of screening and separating, getting an easy one and kind of extending to the high post. And I just thought they brought a lot of energy. So we started executing. We started getting, we got stops and then, chipped our way back into it. It wasn't like the first quarter wasn't ugly at 12-11. But I've watched a lot of games this season where teams have scored 6 points, in a quarter or a half. So, we found a way, played much, much better in the second quarter. I thought that was our best quarter from an execution perspective. But they banked in 3 shots that they weren't trying to bank in tonight. So, part of it is, should we give up those shots? No. But they also banked in 2 threes and a 15-footer. So you take those off the board and, you wouldn't say, oh, our defense was horrible because I would have scored 50 points.
Anybody else in person?
Coach, it seemed like in the second half, every 4 or 5 minutes, OSU would find a way to get back into the game. But every single time, your team had an answer. What do you think went into those adjustments?
Well, I thought we executed. I would have to go back and give you the numbers, but I thought our ATO plays were great. We executed at a high level. I'm pretty sure we scored on almost every play coming out of a timeout. And I rarely run something that they've seen. So we try to put in different stuff and tweak and counter some things and give them something that they're not expecting. And so I thought we executed in those moments, got ourselves an easy layup or an easy play. We played through Liz there for a while when Collins got her 4th foul and they had to put, probably a not as athletic, effective defender on her. Then we moved her around, we isolated her, Sarah made big shots, and then Queen took over kind of right there at the end so it was kind of little stretches of different players making big plays.
You bring up those layups, you had 5 of them back to back. We noticed you pulled within 4 at the end of the game. Did you feel like something changed? Was there no difference to get those buckets at the rim?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, we talked about, for us, it's important for us to get paint touches. And that doesn't mean, that we're just posting people up and trying to throw the ball to the low block. I mean, it means we're attacking the rim off the bounce. We're attacking the rim off a roll. We're cutting in there. We got those layups in a bunch of different ways. We got one off a roll. We got one off a post up kind of lob action. We got one with Sarah turning the corner and shooting a layup. So, we just got them stretched out there and attacked the rim and finished. And I didn't think we finished early. We finished better late. We missed some open threes. I thought tonight that we're certainly capable of making. But sometimes you just got to find a way, you just got to find a way on the road.
All right, back to Zoom. Andrew?
Yeah, Coach, I think if this was baseball, it would kind of be referred to as a bullpen game where you're just trying to get outs. I think you guys were just trying to collect buckets, especially there at the end. What were you trying to do with the lineup and taking Queen out and then putting her and then inserting her back in at the end? What did you see there that made you want to go that direction?
Well, I didn't think Queen had her best energy tonight, and we were trying to play to her, and she was struggling to finish at the rim. And, so I thought, oftentimes when I play Kate, we get Liz closer to the rim and let her do work. And Caitlin plays on the perimeter and is a good screener and a good passer. And so, there are times when that lineup has been really, really good to us this season, especially early in the season. And as Queen has been really, really good lately, that Liz and Queen, Kate and Queen have been really effective regardless of lineup. But I really felt like, Caitlin was doing a really good job defending on the perimeter with Collins. And, I thought she was giving us energy and good screens, and she just doesn't play outside of herself very often. I thought she took one bad shot where she hesitated. But it was a lot of that, and I thought Jordan struggled getting up and down tonight. So Jaden got a ton of minutes. And, even though, offensively, she didn't do a ton. She was the only one that wasn't turning the basketball over. She was doing a pretty good job defending. And if you look at that plus minus on Jaden and Caitlin tonight, they were plus 13 and plus 12. So even though they didn't score a ton, I thought they were really, really effective in terms of energy and effort and making good basketball plays.
All right,
Thank you.
Eric.
Coach, in terms of this game and the way it went, getting a double-digit lead, then it getting cut to one and on the road, do you think this is a game your team would have won a month and a half, 2 months ago, or does it go to kind of what you talked about earlier this week, where it's another proof of like where this team has developed in terms of its kind of mental fortitude a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that when you're used to winning, when you get used to winning, there's a different confidence. You've been in those situations, you get over the hump. We certainly have players that can make plays, and you think about during that stretch, I felt like Sarah made big plays. Liz make big plays, Queen made big plays, and even Jordan came in and attacked off of horns and got an important layup for us. And so, and I thought she had struggled, really struggled, quite frankly, at both ends. And so that was just a big gut check play for her, to want the ball and to take that shot when she'd kind of struggled a little bit tonight. So, I think this team knows that this is a game that we should have won and needed to win. And they got a pretty heated halftime speech from me. I can tell you that. And probably one where I threw some things in that they were trying not to laugh. Because I told them that I felt like we were more concerned about having a snow day and having like a snow party than winning a basketball game. And so, sometimes you say things that are you're trying to be emphatic, and at the same time, like they're trying not to laugh because I'm bringing up a snow party in the locker room. So I told them after the game, we can now have that snow party. So complete with pizzas and things like that. So just proud that we were resilient, that, even though we started slow, that we got great bench production and turned it around pretty quickly.
All right, back to in person.
Yeah, you held Lauren Fields to 4 for 23 shooting. How did you do it?
We just tried to stay pretty connected to her. I thought we had a variety of people guard her. Jordan guarded her, Jamie guarded her, Jaden guarded her. We tried to mix up matchups and keep people fresh. I thought the fact that she was turning it over early kind of got in her head a little bit. She picked up 2 early fouls. And so, we did a good job of what we say is guarding our yard, like staying in front of her, making her change direction, and then, take a lot of, I thought, shots under duress. Now, certainly they got some open threes on some offensive rebounds, shoot it, long rebound, run it down, kick it around. They got some in transition off our turnovers. But when we were sitting down in the half court and guarding, I thought she had a hard time getting good shots.
All right, Chad.
Nikki, you mentioned the snow day, and Krista mentioned you guys trying to get back to the hotel. I don't know how much it impacted the game. I mean, obviously a little bit, but have you had to adjust? I mean, it's obviously an adjustment of your usual schedule. And how does that impact this game? And how does that impact the next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we made the decision when we were struggling to figure out when we could get out because we don't have a plane. And, if we were going to bus, it'd probably be 6 hours based on kind of, how the roads may be and everything. So, we'll end up having a fairly normal day with classes online at Baylor anyway. The girls will log in and get online and go to class in the morning. Oklahoma State's been incredibly gracious to us in terms of, I think their women's team is off tomorrow because they don't play till Sunday. So, we'll have full use of, we've got a room to watch film. We'll practice here. Obviously it'll be light, but we'll practice here and try to have as normal a day. Like we were getting home and going to class in the morning and then practicing there. And then we'll fly out tomorrow evening and get home. And so we'll start working on KU tomorrow, just like we would if we were flying home tonight and preparing in Waco.
All right, Curtis.
Obviously, with you guys getting home late, you can pretty much get back to Waco and go straight into Kansas, or like you just said, you're starting on Kansas from a hotel room. What do you remember about when you guys played the Jayhawks on the road that might test you guys on Saturday?
Well, first of all, I think, I don't know what's going on in the game tonight, but, they've won 7 in a row. Okay, well, they're probably going to lose to Iowa State tonight. So they'll have won 7 in a row going into tonight. I just think they're a high execution team. Brandon's got them playing incredibly well. They screen well. They share the basketball well. I know, I think during one of the broadcasts, not diving into their statistics yet, but I heard on a broadcast, they're one of maybe the only Big 12 team that's in the top 25 in offensive field goal percentage and defensive field goal percentage. So they're executing on offense and they're guarding the heck out of people. So they've got depth. They've got big guards. They rotate a lot of people in the post. So they've got good balance. Franklin, I think, is having a heck of a year at the point for them. Kerskeeter just makes shots for them and attacks and defends and is long and gets steals. And so I just think they've been playing really, really well. And people might say, hey, they've had the softer part of their schedule. You still got to go win them. You still got to go win them, just like we did tonight. Because I think everybody in this league, just like Texas Tech going to Oklahoma and winning, just proves that you got to bring it against everybody in this league. So I just think they're defending at a high level. They've got shot blocking, with Twin. I know that's her nickname, but they have a little bit of everything. And I think they've got really good synergy, really good chemistry. And obviously they'll be motivated because, they obviously haven't lost in a month. So, coming off a loss at Iowa State, this will certainly test them.
All right, we'll go last question to Andrew.
Yeah, Coach, going back home, you seem to have built a really good rapport with the Baylor students and the Bear Pit student section. And then I was just kind of curious, how that's built up over the course of the season, your interactions on Twitter with some of the fans and how excited you are to be able to go back home and have, a big game, there on Saturday, especially with game day being in town.
Yeah, I just really hope that they're not in line for tickets to the men's game during our game. What did I do? I mean, I've tried to be on campus. I had coffee with Coach Collen on campus. I've been in classrooms, even doing doing the post-game $100 gift card toss, just trying to engage them in a variety of ways. We did it up big with giveaways for the Texas game, and they were unbelievable that night. But they make a difference, you know. I mean, it's one student is like 4 fans because of how loud and how engaging and how involved they are. And so I just think it's a part of the women's game, generally speaking, not just at Baylor, but generally speaking. Students tend to go with what's cool, you know, and if it's cool to go to the football game, they go to the football games. If it's cool to go to the men's basketball games. So, you know, trying to engage, trying to be cool. I mean, I think our players deserve to be supported by the students. I think we put a good product out on the floor. I think our league is good. I think they see good basketball. I think our fan engagement does a nice job. And so, you know, I think it's really, really important. And I'm just as excited, you know, I don't know when the last time Baylor's had an alumni day, but to bring back, you know, we're going to have well over 50 alumni from, I think maybe 4 decades of Baylor women's basketball on campus for dinner on Friday night and the game on Saturday, and to just kind of try to bridge the past and the present, and get people to understand that once you're a part of the Baylor family, you're Baylor basketball family for life. And so I'm excited about that too, because, you know, I think it'll be an awesome way to welcome them back. So that's a big part of the weekend as well.